Black people are often treated with contempt in many parts of the world. A people who have suffered heavily at the hands of others for centuries. It has always been like this through history. Yet somehow humanity still seems unable to learn from the past. Reduced to slavery since the beginning of modern history, taken from their lands and forced onto ships, crossing oceans in chains and suffering, hundreds of years of whips, pain and oppression. Their lands were occupied without consent. Wars were fought on their territories, resources were stolen, women and children abused, and they were placed on the front lines of conflicts that were never theirs. Colonization, borders drawn without them. Expropriation, resources taken without agreement. As the saying goes, what is done for you but without you is against you. We once believed that those who suffered the most would naturally learn to value unity and dignity. That if people are still mistreated in places like Libya, they would treat each other with respect and humanity. That the least we could expect would be solidarity, and that our problems would be solved in peace. But instead, we often see internal violence and division, while those who once colonized watch from a distance. How can people recreate among themselves what was once done to them by others? A black man killing another black man over identity. Being in danger among your own people. Being told you smell bad because of who you are. Saying someone is not your brother even though you share the same roots. Feeling like an outsider among your own people. And sometimes feeling safer among strangers than among your own.
How can the most mistreated people in the world end up mistreating themselves so much? How can those who suffer the most end up making their own brothers suffer more? If you know what exclusion feels like, why pass it on to someone who looks like you? We are the same people, yet not always brothers. Maybe just because the devil is black.
When I think about the harm that people from the same background can do to each other, all the things they failed to build for their own communities. Corrupt politicians, broken systems, divided families, and jealousy that destroys unity. Conflicts like Rwanda, with unimaginable loss of life. Internal wars where people share the same roots and language. And instability in regions like North Kivu, where shared identity does not prevent division. In Cameroon, people from the same land have been divided since 2016 due to language, politics, and broken promises, destroying the hopes of a generation. Figures fighting for black empowerment and unity sometimes facing arrest or opposition, not only from outside forces, but also from within their own systems, even on African soil. And in some places in South Africa, we see groups of people turned against each other, searching for identity through division instead of unity. The real problem is not only external forces, but also internal instability and lack of unity. Maybe everything that was done in the past was, from their perspective, a way to protect their own interests. Even systems like apartheid seen by those who created them as protection for their future. If we cannot sit down and talk, if in 2026 we still behave in destructive ways, if we cannot unite or respect each other, then the world will not respect us. If leaders cannot prioritize their own people, if they cannot build real economic cooperation, if resources are not used for collective development, then others will continue to control and exploit them. This is not a diss. It is a bitter observation. black man killed a black man, that's a fact. Maybe just the devil is black.
How can the most mistreated people in the world end up mistreating themselves so much? How can those who suffer the most end up making their own brothers to suffer more?
If you know what exclusion feels like, why pass it on to someone who looks like you? We are the same people, yet not always brothers. Maybe just because the devil is black.
How can the most mistreated people in the world end up mistreating themselves so much? How can those who suffer the most end up making their own brothers suffer more? If you know what exclusion feels like, why pass it on to someone who looks like you? We are the same people, yet not always brothers. Maybe just because the devil is black.